So in the last video, I touched up on the medical part of my life, but I didn't go in detail with it too much because I thought I'd make a video like this one. So yeah, I'd like to jump straight into it. So it's very complicated, it's not hard to put in a single video. Well, I mean, you can, but it's not easy. So it first started in 2021 on February 22nd. I had like a really bad ear pain in my right ear. So I was like, I just couldn't handle it. I was like, I need to go to the hospital. So I went there. And it got worse, and it ended up passing through the mastoidal bone. I think it's what it's called. But then it just turned into like this huge brain infection. So I was in the hospital for months. Because like at the point after it got that bad, I was like a vegetable pretty much. So had a lot of testing, a lot of like physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech, because I was so incoherent. Like I couldn't talk, couldn't walk. It was bad. It was really bad. And they it went to a point where doctors didn't even think I was going to survive. But I want to say at least one, maybe two surgeries. One, well, like actual brain surgery, and then I think there was another, but I'm not sure. But I was got out of the hospital May 20 something of that year. I was sent home, but the therapy stuff, like the physical and occupational, that didn't stop for so long. Probably like 6-7 months, probably longer. And the nurses and doctors, they were like, yeah, probably not coming back to college, honestly. At the state that I was in, I couldn't talk. I could not talk. Couldn't walk either. It was that bad. But I get out, do all those physical therapy, all that stuff, and then I think by 2022, I think that might have been like I got my driver's license back, which is cool. But yeah, and by that time, I believe is the semester or the first semester I went back to college. I'm not sure if it was fall or spring. See, that's another thing. That is another thing. I would say the biggest takeaway from that infection is the left side of my body so weak. Like it's damaged, and like reflexes on my left side are slower. But the other thing that I think is way more important is my memory. My memory is gone. Ask what I did yesterday. Not yesterday, I can tell you what that was. Tell me what I did 2 days ago. I would be like, I don't know. No, that is true. But it's tough. I went through a lot. And that's not even the end of it either, which is horrible. Gosh, I don't know what to say. or like God, I don't know what to say. I don't know. Let me just. But yeah, that's not even the whole story. It gets worse. Well, I mean, yes, no, it does get worse. So last year, 2023, on July 30th, to be more specific, I'm in the airport, planning to go to Vegas with my friend, and everything's fine, you know. I don't there's no symptoms or something. I wasn't sick at all. But, you know, I'm sitting at the terminal waiting to get on a plane, and all of a sudden, I wake up and, I don't even remember, blacking out or something. I just woke up on a stretcher and getting transported into an ambulance. I don't know if my dad's still paying for that ambulance fee, but I wind up in the same hospital, and yeah, I get told that I had a seizure. So not only did I have a brain infection, now I have seizures. So that's a whole nother hoop to jump through now, trying to get that figured out. And that's not even the end of the story yet. That's just the beginning right now. So, you know, doctors do their stuff. I stay there for a week, maybe a weekend. Because it wasn't as bad, you know. I didn't lose any, mobility. Speech. I talked normally. I could eat fine. I was completely normal, which is why I was so confused as to, what was going on. But we get out, and then continue, fast forward over to this year, 2024, and then pretty much the same thing happens. So this time it was, what was it? Oh my god, I got my dates wrong. Fuck. Oh, last year's was July 2023. Okay. No. Fuck. Alright, so let me back it up. Let me just go back to it. Seizure thing. So back to 2023. Airport with my friend, trying to go to Vegas to have fun, do all that bullshit. And then it was July 23. That's when it happened. You know, collapse on the ground. Seizing quite a long time. And then I was unconscious, honestly. I didn't know what was going on. But I wake up, put out in the stretcher, thrown into the hospital, and then, you know, sit there, they do some tests, do everything to, see why it happened, because I was never epileptic until now, but through the test, they realized it was Lyme's disease. It was from a tick bite from, months before. Probably 4 months. So it was just classic case of Lyme's disease. So that one wasn't necessarily put as epileptic. So I had some hope. I was like, okay, you know, not epileptic, that's cool. I never want to be. And then fast forward this year, 2024. And then, so this one is July 30th. So it's a year later, exactly almost. 6 days later. after the 1 year anniversary. Who gives a fuck about that? But yeah, July 30th, I'm at a show, at a bar, at a hardcore show. So I'm there, I pull up. So it's, I want to say like a half hour before first band starts. So it's pretty empty venue, all of that. And then again, just on the floor, wake up, getting put into another ambulance. And I was like, oh my, like I did again, just had my head in my hand, just like, fuck. And then I asked whoever the guys were putting me in an ambulance, I was like, was it another seizure? And they were like, yeah, it was. So this one was in Jersey, not Philadelphia. So I get put into a different hospital I'm not familiar with. And I get put with a different doctor. So this time, tests were ran. They said it was just classic case of epilepsy. So now I am fully epileptic. But treating it is the problem. Because seizures are like an attack in your brain. And my brain was very vulnerable because of the damage from the brain infection. So it's a tough case for them to figure out, and that's why so much stuff is like, so many tests are being used. Like there was one a couple months ago. I stayed in the hospital for like 3 days so they can run like brain signals to see like what's going on. Does this medicine work? Does this one work? Or like the dosage more often, because we would just put on one medicine and we just like had something on my head to like electrodes for like 3 days straight to like see if there's like any activity in like this spot and this spot, just to find out what was going on. That's what I loved about that doctor. He wanted like to get shit handled. But like there's some other doctors in Philadelphia who do not do the same thing, 'cause they are not as like focused, and they didn't want the best. They just want to be like, look, this is almost as if someone is like, oh, how do I fix this? Let me Google it. It's that stuff. There wasn't much research into the treatments. Yeah. And I don't even know if that's the finish line anymore. Like, once we get epilepsy figured out, I always have doubts that that's not the end of it. Hopefully it is, like, fingers crossed. Hope it is, but I just have doubts, because once we got the brain infection thing handled, I thought I was like across the finish line, and I was like, I don't have to care at all. But no, the seizures brought up a whole new thing. But I don't know. I'm not giving up. So I'm just get that handled and just hopefully live a normal life. Because I don't know. Seizures are a big thing. Like, to live with epilepsy, that's tough. Government doesn't like it either. I'm not going to get into politics about it, but to be safe, if you had a seizure, you got to jump through a lot of, like, hoops and ladders and all that to, make sure you're not just going to have a seizure at, like, the worst moments, which it's better to be safe than sorry. But it's a big deal. And that, like, epilepsy was the last thing I wanted. But hey, whatever. But yeah, that's up to date. That's as far as it's gone so far. And yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be more videos talking about this, But I just wanted to like make a video about it, let everyone know, and just, or whoever watches this, I'd like to like show my story because it's a lot. Like when someone's like, oh my god, I have the flu, my life's over, I'd be like, no, it's not, dude. You've experienced nothing. Now, I don't want to shit talk people, but just it's I've gone through crazy shit. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But that's it for now. I'll be back. So yeah, stick around, subscribe, wait for the next one. Because I'm trying to do once a week, maybe more than that, at least once a week. But yeah, that's it for this one. So catch you later.